Now this is one of the interesting things that you learn as a chef. I never knew that the apple pie filling had corn flour in there. And then when it was cooked, it held together nicely. It stopped the pastry from being soggy. So what I thought I would do is not even attempt to make an apple pie as good as that one. I thought I'd combine a cake and a crumble together. Start the cake by creaming butter and sugar together. I'm using light brown sugar for extra flavour. Now I'm going to spice this up with some powdered cinnamon. This is where you could use, especially with apple, a little bit of nutmeg, but also you can get away with a touch of clove. And just to offset that and to add a little bit of moisture to this cake, I'm going to add some good quality maple syrup. While all that mixes together, chop your apples. Leaving the skins on means extra texture. Back to the batter, add the 4 eggs and then switch the mixer off, because the rest of the ingredients get stirred in by hand, starting with the self-raising flour. Almost half mix the flour. You don't want to fully mix because I don't want to overwork this. And then you can grab half the apples, because we're going to put half inside and half on the top. And just to add a bit of texture into this cake, I've got some pecan nuts. You could use walnuts, of course, walnut halves, but just some pecan nuts. Get the mixture into a cake tin. A spring-form cake tin is definitely your best bet here to make sure it's easy to get out later. Now this batter will be slightly thicker. You need that for the apples to hold inside it. Now just before that goes in the oven, I'm going to make a nice little crumble. And for that, it's quite simply just some cold butter, brown sugar and flour. Rub the ingredients together with your fingertips until you have something that resembles breadcrumbs. The Americans do crumbles, but they have a habit of renaming a lot of things. In particular, their crumble is called a cobbler, which, if you ask a lot of Americans, was invented over there. You can't claim that one. Then top the cake with the remaining apples and crumble mixture. But that's simply a crumble cake. And all we need to do now is bake this 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's about 170 degrees centigrade, gas mark 4, for about 30 minutes. Now this is what you end up with. You get a lovely, rich, moist cake, but more importantly, the crumble topping. So you get different textures all the way through, and we'll top that with a fudge topping. Just throw in brown sugar, butter, cream, and maple syrup into a pan. And you can tell when it's ready when it just starts to come away from the side of the pan. Remove the cooled cake out of its tin, cut in half, and sandwich it together with a generous helping of whipped cream. And top it off with a good drizzle of the fudge sauce. And there you have my apple and pecan crumble cake. This cake would be a showstopper on any coffee table, but it's also a fabulous dessert, and I think it would go down a storm at Mum's Apple Pie Shop. And whether we're in the USA or England, we do have one of the best fruits in orchards right around the country. And that's apples. And we need to use them a lot more because that tastes delicious.